guys, you're famous partially because of the song you've recorded for the movie Lost in Space. How did it happen?
How did it happen? The movie Lost in Space? Well, Lost in Space was directed by a chap called Stephen Hopkins, if I'm not mistaken, who's a very successful director these days. And he asked his daughter who are the coolest bands at the moment, and she'd just seen us play at Reading Festival, where we played to a huge crowd of people and really rocked them. And so she recommended Apollo 440. So we met up at the Groucho, as you do, and next thing we were rocking space.
Okay. Could you explain step by step how do you create your music, your songs?
Apollo 440 songs come together in different ways. There's such a gang of us that work on them. Sometimes Ewan has an idea of a lyric, sometimes it's just a sound or a sample that I've taken and turned backwards and distorted and put through a modulation, and that's actually where the whole song starts.
There's no kind of written formula. It happens from loads of different angles.
So that's exactly my next question. What's the source of your inspiration? Where do you find it, or where do you seek for it?
Well, one of the things about inspiration is, like you were just saying, when we're writing a song, sometimes we start with one idea and actually it turns into something else. So it's not even always about inspiration, it's more about us trying to tune into
Each other.
the greater 440 mind, and somehow when we know we're locked in with it, then things start to happen, and what goes on the tape or on the digital starts to turn us on, and that's when we're in.
Or you could even be, it happens like Howard could be reading a book, and all of a sudden you might see something in print and think there's an idea in there. That's why it kind of, Noco could have a guitar part, Howard could read a lyric and think, let's try and build something round about that. Trevor could come up with a keyboard sound. It's just, there's loads of ways.
Okay.
Mostly it's stolen.
So, okay.
Polite thieving.
Yesterday was very nasty, raining, muddy. Today it's supposed to be better. The weather is supposed to improve. How do you feel about the upcoming concerts, and what are your expectations?
We are completely used to the rain. We don't mind it at all. If it rains, it rains, and if the sun shines, fantastic. But every time we come to Poland, we always have a good show. We always go on stage. The crowd are always up for the show, and I'm
it
sure
always rains.
And if it rains, it rains. As long as we're not up to there in mud. As long as it's them, not us, we don't mind.
Did you have any opportunity to get to know Kortowo, to visit Kortowo, to see Kortowo?
No, we arrived in the driving rain last night, and this morning we're sound checking in a swamp. So that's as much as we've seen, to be honest. But I've been reading about this part of the world, and I noticed that the weather kind of did for Napoleon a couple of centuries. So I mean, I hope we won't fare as badly as that.
What are you going to do after the concert? Do you have any plans?
That's a secret.
Well, hang on, we're in a town with like 80,000 students or something, aren't we?
Exactly.
And we'll go on stage at 12:30. I think we'll probably go looking for a party somewhere out there afterwards.
We'll have some fun.
Do you think we'll find one?
I figured that you're not going to sleep.
Probably
That's
not.
truer than you think.
Okay, that would be all. Thank you very much.
Pozdrawia mi Kortowa 440.